Well, it's me, Carol, and it is, let's see, February 2nd, and I'm sitting on my porch out here on the homestead. I did a lot today, but it's one of those days that you get started on one thing. Oh, wow. Did you see that? Red-tailed hawk ended up on the ground out there. Ugh, I love it. I can't wait till I have this porch. Beautiful. I mean, it's okay now, but there's a lot going on. I have a dream. There it is. Can you see it? Oh, where'd it go? Those red-tailed hawks, they are gorgeous. It's been very windy today, February 2nd, 2022. Beautiful day. Beautiful, but it started off cold. It was like it was 50, then it was 47, and then it went a little higher. I'm not sure how high it got today, but I had to wear my sweater for quite a while. Today, I mean, right now I'm not. It's after 5, and I'm out here thinking, I think I'll just give you a little insight in what happened today. Today, I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the morning. I was wide awake. It's weird how your body does that sometimes. I did go to bed kind of early. I think it was like 8 o'clock, but still. It's kind of early, 3 o'clock in the morning, but that's okay. I like being up early to do whatever I want, but now you know I have a baby. Not a human baby, a dog baby. And the dog baby gets up around 4:30. Now the dog baby was sleeping for an hour and a half so I could get some things done. I did some research. I did my bills. I was in the back room, but still, that's in the same area that she's in. She's off the porch area. There's the goats out there. They got their food, so they're happy. And then once I had my second cup of coffee, and she got her her breakfast, she was ready to go out. It was cold. I mean, cold. The wind blowing, I had to put on all my clothes, and she's running around like it's the middle of the summer. It's dark. Now, I'm getting a little irritated with no light. I don't even know how they do it up north. I really don't. I don't know how you do without any sunshine. This is a sunshine state, so it's annoying that the sun does not come out till it's almost 7 o'clock in the morning before the sun comes up. And then here it is. Well, it is getting later. It is starting to turn the corner. And we are, in a month, changing the time. So let's get excited about that. I'm not going to gripe anymore about the amount of sunshine. Because we do have sunshine today. It's not dreary. It's not damp. It's not snowing. It's not raining. It's gorgeous. A little chilly because there is a breeze. It's hard to work out here because the wind whips up and all the stuff you tried to clean up is blown everywhere again. So then I decided I'd go inside and work on my computer and some things that I need to get done. My bills, I call them hoops. You got to hoops jump when you're in the nursing profession. Every couple of years you have to fill out all these education things. And then if you have a specialty, which I do, every 3 years. And then, of course, you pay. It goes up all the time. So now I'm paying $150 to get my CCRN. And then I have to pay the $59 a year to belong to the AACN. And then my nursing license is it due? I have to keep looking. I'm not sure if it's due this year. And then you got to remember when you did your ACLS and your BLS, there's a lot of stuff you have to keep up with, which is fine. But at this time of your life, you're like, I've been doing it for 25 years. I mean, shouldn't you have at one point just an update and say, okay, you've been doing it for 20 years. You know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. But no, they don't look at it like that. I'm thinking they want the money. It's just like anything else. Taxes, they keep going up here. Swear to God, I'm not kidding you. My taxes and my insurance here are almost as much as my house payment. Oh, my house payment includes my, what do you call that thing? God. I can't remember what you call it. Where the bank holds it off so they can pay it at the end of the year. What the heck is that? Anyway. It'll pop in my head in a few minutes. Anyway, that is going up so much. It's just about as much as the mortgage itself. I mean, the payment is the mortgage plus the taxes. Escrow, that's the word, escrow. My escrow is pretty dang close to how much it costs for the mortgage. Ridiculous. I mean, I've had a house off and on throughout my life. I've had one, 2, 3. This is my 4th house, okay? 4th house. And I've never seen anything like it. And the second house was during that time where interest rates were 12%. Yeah. When Jimmy Carter was in office. That's why he didn't last but one term. People didn't like all the money going down the tubes. But anyway. What are you going to do? You got to pay it. You can pay your house insurance or they won't let you pay your house payment. You got to pay your taxes or they'll put a lien on your house. So you got to pay it. Yeah. So when people say to you, when are you going to retire? What are you going to live in? When you retire, if you're lucky enough to even have a decent salary over your lifetime, how much money do you think you're going to be bringing home so you can pay the taxes on your property, so you can pay for the gas that's skyrocketing, so you can pay for the food that's skyrocketing? I mean, what are you supposed to do unless you saved $1 million trillion? Because, I mean, I never know. You never know how long you're going to live. I don't know. Does anybody know? Nobody knows. Look at Betty White. She almost lasted to 100. Of course, she had plenty of money. I think 60% of the people that can retire, from what I heard, can't because they can't afford it. What did they do? They worked hard to support their kids. They wanted things. They wanted a car. They wanted a house. They still do. So I'm going to tell you young people, especially you women, you can't just go from here to there and expect. I had 2 divorces, so that cost you an arm and a leg too. If you're lucky enough to find the right man and you stay in your house for any length of time, or if you make some money as you go from one house to another and you have a good plan, you can retire. Yeah. You can retire. Good luck to you. Because guess what? You have to pay for the insurance, your health insurance. Right now, as we speak, I'm working and I'm paying well over $400 a month. $400 a month for just me to have health insurance through Medicare. Nobody ever told me it was going to cost money. I thought it was free. Yeah. Nope, nobody ever, even when I called, they said it's free. And my significant other, Steve, he said, no, it's not. That's what she told me, free. No, it's not free. The first part is free. The A, if you're hospitalized, that's free. But if you have to pay doctors or anything else, and they only pay 80% if they want to pay it. And then you have to pay your own 20%. Oh my gosh. And of course your gig, because you're working. You're in some kind of other stratosphere. You have to pay more because you're working. That makes no sense to me, but what government thing does make sense? We have to deal with government stuff all the time working where I work. It makes no sense half the time. And my mother used to gripe about it as a teacher. She loved to teach, but all this craziness that have to deal with, mandated by the government, and then they don't pay, and they expect miracles, and it's just not. Look at the common sense thought of it. Do it yourself. Come in here and try to do what we do with what you have mandated. Come on, people. Wake up. Get real. Get yourself an MBA. I'm telling you, get yourself an MBA. Stop spending all that money on education because they don't pay for it. Very few businesses will pay for your education. They mandate it, but they don't pay for it. At least where I work, they don't. Let's put it that way. At least I never, ever got any extra money or paid for my ability to go to a seminar or anything. I did it out of my own pocket. Yes. So why would you do that? Why would you do that? Get yourself an MBA, start your own business, make a lot of money so you can retire when you're 65. You don't have to listen to people say, when are you going to retire? Yeah. Retire from life, from the job, from making money to support yourself. I mean, what is it? I like to work. I really do like to work. I've liked to work ever since I was a kid. That's why I got this. This is lovely work. This is working at what you want to do. I know a lot of people want to do it, but it's kind of hard. Look at those clouds. Oh my gosh. And guess what? I watched a lot of HGTV, that show where people go and buy houses and people would walk through the house and say, oh, I don't like that color or this or that. I think to myself, color? You don't know how to paint? And if you don't want to paint, you can get somebody else to paint it. Yeah. I have a different mindset. Everybody has their own business, their own feelings, their own ideas. And as long as it doesn't hurt anybody, I am going to do what I want to do. I worked, well, if I wanted to work right up to the day I had my baby. I mean, there's a girl in there now doing that. What's wrong with that? She wants to, let her. Back in the day, people would say, why are you still working? You shouldn't be working pregnant. Boy, if they said that today, whew, you'd be fired. It's a good thing. But it's okay to ask me 45 times during the day when I'm going to retire. I feel bad. I really do feel bad for some of those people. Like, I don't see too many men getting asked that question. Except I'll have to say, they asked Tom Brady, the football player that's been playing for 22 years. When are you going to retire? When are you going to retire? Oh, I wanted him to say something good, but he never did. He never would say anything. Ugh, I wanted something good out of his mouth. I retire when I get dang ready to. Don't ask me that question again. Do I look like I need to retire? I'm at the top of my game. Come on, people. Get real. Are you jealous that he's 44, almost 45 years old, and he can beat anybody in football? I'm not too keen on him. But he did play for Tampa Bay for a couple of years. I do like the fact that he helped him win the Super Bowl. But I keyed into the fact that he's only 44 years old, and they're constantly on his case about what he's going to do when he retires and when is he going to retire. And it just brought up everything in me, like, why do people have to ask, when are you going to have your next kid? When are you going to have babies? When are you going to get married? Ugh, none of your business. When I get ready, I'll get married. When I want another kid, I'll have another kid. If I want 45 kids, I have 45 kids. Am I hurting you? No. Am I hurting you by working? Okay. Back the bus up. I should have got my MBA. The money I would have spent on an MBA versus nursing, I would be killing it right now. This is the first time since I've been a nurse and I'm making decent money. I attribute it to a couple things. One thing, nobody wants to be a nurse anymore. Second, and I always said this from the very beginning, men wouldn't put up with this. You'd have to pay them big bucks. I pay people. I paid a man to trim my trees, okay? He trimmed my trees last week. Yes, there was 5 of them. He had his 11-year-old daughter here. Literally 4 hours, he made $1,000. $1,000 for 4 hours of trimming trees. Come on, people. We're in there expected to save lives. Yes, for less money than a plumber. And then we were heroes for a while, but now we're not. It's okay. It's all right. I still love my job. I don't love the politics, which a lot of people can relate. A lot of people can relate. And anybody in healthcare, in anything to do with people nowadays, they understand. They totally understand. I can totally understand why people aren't working at McDonald's. I used to say, hey, I think I would feel better at McDonald's. They're starting to make some bucks there, and they don't have to deal with stuff. But now, no, I don't think so. There's people there, and people expect way too much. I have high expectations. In one of my evaluations, I was told too high. I have too high expectations. Okay, I didn't know there was that kind of a thing. It's all right. I have high expectations for me, for myself. From now on, the rest of my life, my expectation is to do the best I can and not hurt anybody. Do the very best I can. Even when all my plants die. I mean, 1-2 days out of this last couple weeks. I don't know. I got hope. I'm hoping and wishing. But I don't know. Just don't look too good. We'll see, won't we? But I can always look up. And the Lord will be there for us. If you believe, if you have faith, if you have trust, things are going to work out because you are working on it. You're not just accepting, you're working on it. So here is my truth for today. You can look around in my backyard and see things are not too good. And I feel kind of ambivalent about it. I love my house. I love my area. But the wind has blown a bunch of stuff around, and I'm halfway here and halfway there. But that's my MO. I lived at a place for 15 years, and I was still working on it. Still doing things daily. I left it. I sold it without getting a closet done that I had started. It's still sold. I still enjoyed living there. I worked on every floor in that house. I worked in every room in that house. I worked in the yard. I did so much with all the things I had going on in my life. My education, my job. I had a 5-day-a-week, actually 7-day-a-week job when I first started working at my hospital. 7 days a week I work there. I started at $13 and something cents an hour. But that was pretty good money back then. And I loved every minute. That's why it goes by so fast. When you're doing something you love, it goes by fast. And here it is. This is my 25th year. In November, it'll be 25 years. So, there are good times, bad times for everything. You pull up your big pants and you keep on going. Do things you love. Just sitting out here and watching my little goats and the birds and listening to the quiet. You can see the planes are back. There's one over there. There's several little tracks there. But don't you think we don't have days that make you just test you? Test. Did you make the right decision? Test you. Did you? What's going on here? I want you to know that every day you do something awesome. I took care of my baby dog. She's sleeping right now. She loves it here. I'm glad I made the decision to get her some Bear and her getting along. It's February 2nd, 2022, and I'm still here. Cancer tried to get me, but it didn't get me. Wow, that's a beautiful picture right there. I don't know why I keep looking at that, but that to me looks like winter. We don't have too much winter here. Matter of fact, it might be the end of winter here. Hopefully soon we'll be into spring. I can't wait. So much I can get done with a longer day, with more light. I'm excited. My neighbors have an aviary. I love to listen to the birds. Some people wouldn't like it, but I love it. I love birds. My chickens aren't making too much noise today. I love my little chickens. My little puppy. My big bear. I'm not too keen on the what do you call those things? Where it's like pokers. I don't want to say crabgrass, but I should know. I grew up here. Oh well, that'll pop in my head too. I tell you, I didn't realize that this would be, you can't really see it. Let's see if I can get a little closer. It seems dark. Oh, there we go. I don't know what I had hit there. That is my, what is that? Some kind of herb. Girl, what is that? Can't remember. It's not oregano. Anyway, it made it through the winter. The 2 days of winter. So did my olive tree. I don't know about these. I'm praying they did. Looks like my lavender did. I don't know about my lemon. Don't you feel sorry for me? My poor little lemon tree. Oh, God. We'll see. That thing looks so wonderful. Oh, well. We'll see what happens in the spring. Okay, guys. Stay safe. Enjoy tonight. Oh, here's another plane. Y'all take care. See you tomorrow. Bye.